Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. I kind of like giving lectures late at night because I get a little delirious, and I think it's just funner for everybody. All right, here we go. Here are a few quiz questions and a problem to help you practice and deepen your understanding of discrete probability distributions. Which of the following is a discrete random variable? The time it takes to drive to work, that's continuous. The number of cars passing through a toll booth in an hour, that's discrete and infinite. The weight of a randomly selected apple. Didn't we answer these questions? And the temperature at noon today. These are both continuous. I think we answered these. Are these my questions? I thought we were going to do like, I don't know what I thought we were going to do. A fair six-sided die is rolled once. What is the probability that the outcome is an even number? That's going to be 3 out of 6 or 1 out of 2. Question 3, what is the sum of the probabilities in a discrete probability distribution? It's 1, baby. It's 1. If a discrete, because they all got to add up together. If a discrete random variable x has the following probability distribution, what is the probability that x is greater than 2? Not greater than or equal to 2, greater than 2. So that's 0.4 plus 0.1. That's going to be 0.5. And problem to solve. Consider a discrete random variable x that represents the number of heads obtained in 3 flips of a fair coin. List all the possible values of x. Construct the probability distribution of x. Calculate the probability that x equals 2. And what is the expected value mean of x? We didn't get to that. But let's give it a shot and we'll have it explain some stuff. So I'm going to say the number of cars passing through a toll booth in an hour. That's discrete and infinite. I'm going to say 1. And I'm going to go 2. And the second one is 2 is this one, right? And what is the probability? Even number? It's 3 out of 6. 1 out of 2. I like it. Oh, we're going to say a 0.5. That just looks a whole lot better. I don't know what all that other madness is. There we go. And we'll do 3. And the third one is what is the sum of, and we're going to do this one here. Oh, come on down. There we go. And we're going to do, whoops, not that. And for 4, that's going to be 0.4 plus 0.1 is 0.5. Feeling good about all these. That's easy. And then here, problem. And we'll do 1. List all the possible values that x take. Consider a discrete random variable x that represents the number of heads obtained in 3 flips of a fair coin. 3 flips, all the possible value that x can take. The possible values that x can take. Possible values that, I'm just thinking about this logically. So it's flips of a coin. So the possible values of flips of the coin will be heads, 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 and then it'll be tails, heads, and then it'll be heads, tails, and then it'll be tails, tails. And I want to know that formula, and we'll do heads, heads here, but I'm not remembering it. You could always look things up and ask ChatGPT. That's the most important thing, if you could find the answer. And here we go, tails, tails. This is like, me learning statistics. Construct the probability distribution for x. The probability distribution for x. So we have 3 flips of a fair coin. The probability distribution for x. That's a good question. That's a really good question. So probability distribution, I have to think about this, is like, what's the probability of us getting, it's 3 flips. And so we could have x, we could have 0. We could have 0 heads, and we could have 1 head, and we could have 2 heads, and we could have 3 heads. There we go. I like it. I like that I had to think about it, right? Right? And so, yeah, we can't have 4 heads. So now calculate the probability that x equals 2. Exactly 2 heads. Exactly 2 heads. So let's logically think about it. Right? We've got 3 flips, and we want to see 2 heads. So 3 flips, 2 heads. That's hard to logically think about. I kind of like binomial. Success is heads, failure is tails. And so if we use the binomial distribution, let's go up here and look at it. And we've got 3 flips and, wait, how many we got? Equals 2. We're going to flip 3 times and we want to get heads 2 times. So we're going to flip 3 times. So here's 3, right? And we want to flip 3 times. Where's my formula? 3 times. Here's my formula. Oh yeah, here it shows you this, the binomial coefficient. I just glanced. Maybe, did we talk about that when it was here? I don't know. So 3 times, we're going to do 3 flips, and we want to get 2. We want to get 2 heads equals exactly 2. The probability x equals 2, exactly 2 heads. So we're going to do here x, this is 2, and we have 3 flips. So 3 over 2 here is 3 factorial, which is 6, over 2 over this, which is going to be 3 minus 2, which is going to be 1. That's just going to be 1. And then 2 is going to be 2. So we have 6 over 2, 3. So we have 3 here, right? And then we're going to have p to the power of 2. And the p is the probability of success, 0.5 to the power of 2. So it's going to be, this is going to be 6 divided by 2, which is 3, times 0.5, the probability for each flip. 0.5 to the power of 2. So that's going to be 6 over 2 is 3, and 3 times 0.25 is going to be a quarter. It's going to be 3/4, right? So 3/4, and it's 0.75. So this will be 3 times 0.25 is 0.75. And then we're going to have 1 minus p. And so 1 minus is going to be 0.5. So 0.75 times 0.5, 0.5, and 0.75 times 0.5. I got to write this down. 0.75 times 0.5, and it's going to be 0.5 to n minus k. And n minus k is the number of trials. And so there's going to be, what was it? Number of trials, it's 3, and we want 2 heads. 3 minus 2 is 1, so it's just going to be 0.5, right? So 0.75 times 0.5 is going to be like 0.375. So I'm going to say 0.375. 0.375, and to heck with trying to figure it out logically. And last question, what is the expected value mean of x? So the expected value mean of x, I think there's a formula for that, and you multiply each of the individual probabilities by, I don't know, please show me. I don't know, please show me. Let's enter it. Let's see what it says. Great job. Let's go through your answers. Correct. And then question 4. Correct. The problem, actually, since the problem asks for 3 flips, the sample space would be, oh wow, I gotcha. I didn't think that one through. So 3, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 possibilities. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8 possibilities. And construct the probability distribution for x. Px equals 0. Only one outcome is 0 heads. TTT. So Px equals 1 out of 8. Oh, this is great. And 3 out of 8. I really like this. And 3 out of 8 and 1 out of 8. That's great. Probability distribution is Px 1/8, 3/8, 3/8, 1/8. This is really a beautiful solution. And an instructional thing. Calculate the probability that x equals 2. Using the probability distribution above, x equals 2. X equals 2 is 3/8, 375. Correct. You got this one right. Yay! And we did it with binomial. That's so cool. What is the expected mean of x? The expected value is a discrete random variable is calculated using the formula. See, there's a formula. the summation of x times the probability of x equals x. Is that what that says? That's kind of wild looking. Plug in the values from above, and you get 0 times 1/8, 1 times 3/8, 2 times 3/8, 3 times 1/8. So it's 0 times 1/8 plus 1 times 3/8 plus 2 times 3/8 plus 3 times 1/8. And you do all that, and the expected value of the mean is 1 over 5. And so that's something else that you learn in this chapter is that right here. This little expected value formula right there. So you did great. You accurately determined the sample space. The expected mean is 1.5. Let me know if you have more questions or need further clarification. This is super cool. I love it. And this is really good to see. I, for whatever reason, just thinking 2 flips, but there's the sample space. So it's super cool to get corrected and to learn, you know, and to get another problem. But I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to call it a night, because anymore I'm just going to get super loopy. Super loopy. And as much as you might want to see that, I'm going to go get some rest. It's 11:45. You can only do what you can do. And then you just have to say, that's it. That's all I can do today. And call it a good day. This is a practice I like to do. Is like, and I don't always remember to do it. I do always remember to do love prayers. And love prayers, and then to do a prayer. I do a little prayer. And I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And I used to be a real rational materialist where I thought, lights out, man. You die, it's a biological process. That's it, it's done. But I've learned enough about other people. I was really into meditation when I was younger. And I learned enough about other people and experiences they've had, which defy rational materialism. This idea that we're just a biological process. Seems like I scrolled to the right here. Look, that P is kind of, it's hidden. How did I scroll that? I don't know. Maybe if I do this and do this. See, I'm getting a little bit loopy. There we go. Did that bring it back out? Didn't it? Maybe if I do this, it'll show it. Hey, man, where did the rest of my screen go? How did I move that over? I do not know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So anyhow, I've learned, oh, there it is. There's that little bar. That's what I was looking for. So I've learned enough about others like Carl Jung. Carl Jung's amazing. He is like one of the pillars in one of the seminal psychologists, one of the most influential psychologists in the field of psychology, Carl Jung. And yeah, and he had a near-death experience where he went into, you know, just like the spirit world. And then he was like 1,000 miles above the planet and just totally peaceful, and he was ready to go. And a spirit came to him and said, your work's not done. You need to go back. And so he came back. He didn't want to, but he did. And then he continued to communicate with a spirit called Philemon. And you know, there's even the Philemon Foundation. There you go, right? Who is Philemon? And I've been here before. Check it out. And so this foundation, right, is like, I don't know what they do, but anyhow, here we go. Sweet. So you read about it here. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you. Pause the video. And so Carl Jung communicated with this, and he said that the spirit with which he communicated was simply a superior knowledge, and he taught me psychological objectivity and the actuality of the soul. He formulated and expressed everything which I had never thought. That's amazing, right? And so, you know, Carl Jung said that he also said that everything he contributed to the field of psychology came from Philemon. And so, you know, that kind of made me reconsider. And I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And also, with all the meditation I did, I had enough experiences and saw other people have experiences and heard about other experiences like this with Carl Jung. And also not only Carl Jung was into these experiences, which he called synchronicity. And so Carl Jung wrote a book on synchronicity. And he defined synchronicity as an acausal connecting principle. And so where's the book, man? It's this one. And synchronicity, there it is. And he defined it, and this is my sort of summarization. He defined it as events which, because of their timing frequency, their timing, and their frequency, or timing and or frequency and meaning, cannot be ascribed to chance. So they were like, improbable, and you would just think, wow, that's totally random chance. But because of when they occurred, or their timing, or their frequency, how often they occurred, or their meaning of what occurred, there are these things which Carl Jung documented in this book and in other places, of synchronicities which happened in his life, which cannot be ascribed to chance, but which defy, um, you know, rational materialism and apophenia, ascribing meaning to things where there is no meaning. That's apophenia. And so, yeah, like that stuff kind of made me move away from and believe in the spirit world and believe that there are benevolent forces at work in the universe which are beyond our understanding, and that they help us. And Native Americans believed in this spirit world and believed in ancestors, and so my perspective is a little bit akin to Taoism, and sort of believing in the natural universe and nature and spirits and ancestors and benevolent forces. Make of that what you will. That's a great thing, right? And total respect for everybody else and all their belief systems, but we all get to kind of like, do our best to figure out what's going on here. And there's this other really interesting professor, Dr. Richard Alpert, who taught at, and then he taught at psychology. He rose to the top of his field, and he realized he's at the top of the field in psychology, teaching at Harvard, and then he realized everybody at Harvard was just as dysfunctional and crazy in psychology. Everybody in psychology at Harvard, including himself, was as dysfunctional and crazy as everybody else. And like, what good did it do him to know the top of, understanding the mind and psychology if it didn't really help him? So then he went and got into meditation, and his meditation teacher said, "You are now a servant of God," and gave him the name Servant of God, which is what Ram Dass means. And so then he really kind of also moved into this realm that Carl Jung was in, where it was really about venturing into things which aren't being not able to be explained by the rational materialistic mind. And so really fascinating guy. And there's a podcast called the Be Here Now podcast, and it broadcasts, even though Dr. Richard Alpert has passed, it shares his talks here, and you could go listen to his talks. And they're a little bit wild. It's like also from the 60s and 70s, and so there's that zeitgeist of the culture at that time. So different kind of lingo a little bit. Like they talk about like groove, like groovy, or I don't know what other phrases were popular then, but. So the point of all that is when I go to bed every night, I do love prayers, and the love prayers are in the Native American tradition. And there's this Native American love prayer, peace before me prayer, peace behind me prayer, right? And I don't know if there's any images of it, but I saw this image in Wyoming or Montana at the General Custard Memorial. I'm not really seeing the prayer. They say peace before me, peace behind me, peace on both sides of me, or peace on both sides of you, peace beneath you, peace above you, peace all around you. But I replace that with love. So I do that for my kids, I do it for my wife, I do it for myself, and I do it for all beings in the world, sending out love. Love before you, love behind you, love on both sides of you, love beneath you, love above you, love all around you, right? Send that all out. And do that prayer every night. And then I do another prayer, just to a prayer to the benevolent forces in the universe to help me be the best person I can be, and to be the best, provide for my family in all ways most effectively. And so that's fun, but also really nice practice to come full circle. A really nice practice is every night just think about, what did I do today? What did I do today that was great, that I'm proud of, that really kind of embodies who I want to be, and moves me in the direction I want to move. Like, did I use my time well? And just taking inventory of that at the end of the night when you're laying in bed, like, I'm really proud of myself. I did this, I did that, I did this. and I did a good job. Like, I used my time well. So I'm proud of myself. I used my time well. I kind of wanted to go to bed earlier, and I'm like, I gotta get this out, man. This is gonna help people, and I could take it easy and just tell people to read the textbook, but I know that when I explain this stuff, it's helping me learn it. I still need to learn it, man. I need to get more solid on it, and it's helping other people learn it because for whatever reason, like, I come from teachers and been around teaching my whole life, and for whatever reason, I somehow learned to help convey things to people, and that's part of the skill set that I've developed in my life. So hopefully it's helpful to you, but take inventory. That's a good thing to do at night. Take inventory of all the good things you did, living who you want to be, being who you want to be during the day, good decisions you made, good actions you took, and then also moving you forward in the direction you want to move. All right, a little philosophy there. I'm rambling. It's a little bit late. I will catch you to next time I record, which is going to be tomorrow because I got more to do. See you next time.